May 8, 1945. Victory in Europe. The world watched as Nazi war criminals were dragged to Nuremberg. Justice was coming, or so we thought, because while cameras captured the trials, American military intelligence was writing a different kind of verdict. Not guilty, not imprisoned, recruited. This is the story of the doctors we didn't execute. We gave them lab coats, American lab coats, and a mission that would haunt us for 70 years. The official story of Operation Paperclip is simple. 1,600 German scientists, rocket engineers, physics geniuses who would help us win the space race. But buried in those 1,600 names were men whose expertise had nothing to do with rockets. Dr. Kurt Blome, Deputy Reich health leader, the man who weaponized bubonic plague for Hitler. At Nuremberg, evidence showed he'd conducted lethal experiments on concentration camp prisoners. The court prepared to convict him. And then something strange happened. American intelligence intervened. Blome was acquitted. 3 months later, he was working at a classified U.S. military facility, not as a prisoner, as a consultant, because the army had discovered something terrifying about the Nazis. They hadn't just tortured people, they'd perfected it, turned it into a science, and now with the Soviets rising, America wanted that science for itself. Oberursel, Germany, a former Luftwaffe interrogation center, the Americans renamed it Camp King, and by 1950, it had become something the public never knew existed, a black site run by the CIA, where Soviet prisoners simply disappeared. Dr. Kurt Blome arrived here in 1951. He brought with him another Nazi doctor, Walter Schreiber, Wehrmacht, Surgeon General. Their assignment was classified, the code name Operation Artichoke. The mission, break human beings without leaving marks. They tested LSD on captive Soviet spies, dosed them, hypnotized them, interrogated them for hours while their minds unraveled. A declassified memo from 1952 describes the goal in clinical language. Induce complete hypnotic trance. Maintain interrogation for 1 hour, 40 minutes, with subsequent total amnesia. They wanted confessions the prisoner wouldn't remember giving. Slaves to truth serum who'd wake up with no memory of betraying their country. The techniques worked. So well, in fact, that the CIA decided to scale the program. They called it MK Ultra, and the architects, the Nazi doctors who designed it, were given American citizenship as payment. 1963, the CIA codifies everything learned from Blome and Schreiber into a single document. The KUBARK Counterintelligence Interrogation Manual. It doesn't mention the Nazi doctors by name, but their fingerprints are on every page. Sensory deprivation, sleep disruption, stress positions, psychological regression. The manual taught that physical torture was crude. Psychological torture, the kind that leaves no scars, was the future. KUBARK was exported, taught to Allied intelligence agencies across Latin America, used in Vietnam and Iraq. The enhanced interrogation techniques of the War on Terror, waterboarding, stress positions, isolation cells, all of it traces back to a Nazi-designed playbook. 70 years, 3 generations of interrogators, all learning from men who once wore swastikas. We tell ourselves Operation Paperclip was about rockets, about beating the Soviets to space, about survival. But the truth is darker. The U.S. Army didn't just recruit Nazi scientists, it adopted their philosophy. That morality is a luxury you can't afford in war. That the ends justify the means, that to defeat evil you must become it. The Nazi doctors died decades ago. Quiet deaths in American suburbs, their crimes forgotten. But their work never died. It just changed uniforms, from SS black to CIA gray. We defeated the Third Reich in 1945, but in the shadows of Guantanamo and black sites around the world, their methods are still very much alive. Because once you invite a monster into your house to help you win a fight, it never really leaves. It just learns to live in the walls.